The CCP hushed up the corona pandemic at first, and one can definitely say that they did use it. One could even say for controlling its people, it's like not what they stated, but still. And but also even more obvious or more or less debatable even, they did use the corona pandemic to make some sort of let's say, I really think they did use. I wouldn't be surprised if they used the pandemic to blame the American military by making a relatively nonsensical time that the American military that they accuse them of spreading corona in Wuhan, because it wouldn't have fitted with the time, and then they uploaded scientific stuff that sort of shows I'm German, so I take a longer while now. Scientific stuff that proves that some bats in Sri Lanka had a virus that was looking like an earlier form of the coronavirus that was discovered in Wuhan. And so that it would make sense that these bats could have had a virus that could have evolved into the coronavirus that was discovered in Wuhan then. And so they uploaded it and then they deleted it again. So everyone in the Western world was like, okay, now we finally know that the laboratory hypothesis about corona coming from this Wuhan lab being totally disproven, while the communist Chinese government could still say, oh no, we never heard of this scientific stuff, we still blame the American military or something, because they did upload it after getting asked for any sort of information they have on this virus, and then they deleted it again. And the next one is more about the Uyghurs more, because when the leaks came, those eyewitness reports, even with the satellites, of course, because those stuff where those detainees or prisoners are in, they are visible from above, they are visible from satellites. Then the communist Chinese government admitted to the existence of those places, but called them de-radicalization centers. And the thing is that they, and believe it or not long before 9/11, they had invented a terrorist organization that didn't even exist. So those Uyghurs and members of other Muslim minorities of Xinjiang, who actually did get detained in Guantanamo then, they were not of that terrorist organization, because they can't have been, because there wasn't any of this. I don't remember the name now. I can't look it up now, and I take longer for making the videos then. And So they were possibly Uyghurs with contacts to the Taliban, but one cannot possibly know anymore. Still, I'll look it up. And I think it was something like ESMC or something, I don't know. Well, anyway, after those leaks, like the Xinjiang police files and everything, after this, the communist Chinese government paid influencers to go there and say that everything's fine and that one is totally allowed to talk to every normal people there and that one can walk wherever one wants and anything. And they even did so during the corona pandemic. So communist China, with this zero COVID policy, did have the most restrict corona politics. Still, they did allow those influencers in who would otherwise be like travelers or something and who wouldn't have been to visit there at the time where almost no one was allowed to visit communist China because it was corona and because they had the most restrict forms of anti-corona politics. And they did pay those influencers who said, no, I totally only go there and look how fine everything is